these young fellows out there that are starting, they need this sort of thing. And we're helping provide it. And I think it's the finest thing I ever heard of, to give these boys a stepping stone to try to play on the major tour.
Oh my goodness!
It starts them out early, and it trains them how to compete.
Scottie Scheffler will be a two-time winner on the Korn Ferry Tour.
16 PGA Tour titles for Scottie Scheffler.
I wish I had the opportunity to do something like this.
For 35 years, the Korn Ferry Tour has been more than just a stepping stone. It's been the launch pad for some of the greatest careers in golf, a proving ground where raw talent is refined and dreams of the PGA Tour begin to take shape. It all started back in February 1990 when the Ben Hogan Tour teed off at the Bakersfield Open. After a few early attempts to build a developmental circuit, this one stuck, and from that moment, professional golf changed forever. Finally, there was a clear path, a place where aspiring pros could learn, grow, and compete, all while chasing the ultimate goal, a spot on the PGA Tour.
How does it feel to be the first ever Ben Hogan Tour winner?
Nobody else will be a first winner.
Right.
I think it's great. It's really the first organized tour I played on. It seems like it's going to be run first class. I like the way everything is. They record the scores after all the holes. They got leaderboards. I think it's going to do real well. I think it's going to be pretty successful. I'd like to thank the PGA especially for getting a tour started like this. It's tough going through tour school, and it's a great pleasure to be able to play on this tour.
We hope somewhere down the road that more and more players will come from the Ben Hogan Tour onto the regular tour. We think that's going to be a growing trend.
As Mike Springer captured the first Korn Ferry Tour trophy and the tour had found its footing, so did a new generation of stars. Week after week, they showed that the future of golf was already here, and the Korn Ferry Tour wasn't just working, it was thriving. Two-time major champion John Daly finished the 1990 season with 3 runners-up and a win at the Utah Championship.
I'd like to thank the volunteers, because I know yesterday was Saturday and it was a BYU football game, and y'all were out here watching us play golf.
PGA Tour card. I'm not leaving the Hogan Tour without it.
Tom Lehman secured his tour card with 3 wins in 1991 and later won 5 times on the PGA Tour, highlighted by that 1996 Open Championship.
I think I'm capable of winning tournaments. I think if you can win on this tour, you can win on the PGA Tour.
Mr. 58 and 2024 President's Cup captain Jim Furyk earned his first professional win in the 1993 season, as did a Mr. 59 and 2001 Open champion David Duval.
You gain a lot of experience of being under the gun, playing in these tournaments for when you do get out on the big tour.
You always think of what you'd say if this would happen to you, and now I can't think of anything, but just can't believe it happened.
Little did golf fans know it, but they were witnessing the evolution of legends in the game from the onset of their professional careers. The 1995 Korn Ferry Tour class was a force with 27 total wins on the PGA Tour, headlined by Jerry Kelly, David Toms, and Stuart Appleby, represented in the top 5 in the final standings.
Jerry Kelly, he has a lot.
Currently #1 on the money list. Set a new earnings record in a single season on the Nike Tour.
I told myself, I'm not going back to Q school. It was a place that I did not want to go back to. I went and saw Bob Rotella right before that 95 season, and I stuck to my game plan all year long. That's what got me through.
The goal was that year, I knew what the PGA Tour was all about, and it's like I have to get back there.
After 3 subpar seasons as a member of the PGA Tour, David Toms lost his card and came to the Nike Tour to resurrect his game. Toms made 17 cuts and 9 top 10 finishes.
It's the absolute grind and working as hard as possible to try and beat everybody out there. You know, still a bunch of the same guys. David Toms, he was fighting me all the way to the last day of the Tour Championship to try and get that #1 spot.
I was able to win a couple of times, finish high enough to get my tour card fully exempt to play in '96, and then after that, I never really lost it again.
You know, that first check making $30,000, it was like, we're rich. We're rich. It's the best.
Stewart Cink's 1996 season was a defining year in the decade.
Your Tour Championship winner for 1996, Stewart Cink, headed to the PGA Tour.
I saw the Korn Ferry Tour as like, it was a goal of mine just to get there, because right after college, I just wanted to have a place to play and start stepping up the ladder, and that's the way you did it.
Very good work.
I'd played a few on the Korn Ferry Tour in '95, and I was in awe of how well everybody played. And you know, if you tee off at noon, you know, you start the day 9 shots back on Thursday because someone shoots 9 under every day. And I was just like, how can I ever compete against this? You know, and then I got my feet wet, and then by 1996, when I was out there as a member, I had some good finishes early. I lost in a playoff in the first tournament and felt like, hey, you know, now I'm doing what I was in awe of. It was really big for my mental status and the way I saw myself fitting into this whole puzzle.
We're watching the 23-year-old Stewart Cink. Record-breaking season for him.
To have that kind of peer recognition and the scores reflected, you know, it was just a big way for me to sort of build confidence as I got to the ultimate goal of playing on the PGA Tour.
He played great all year with 3 victories, set a record to over $250,000 that it's going to take a while to be broken. But in addition to that, the way you've handled yourself this year as a professional, you're ready for the PGA Tour, and we're looking forward to having you on the PGA Tour. Congratulations.
And that just really capped off the year. You know, I was going to finish first or second on the money list and get my card with no problem, but to win a 3rd tournament there that week in front of my friends, family, fans, and all that was really special. I think what I took from the Korn Ferry Tour that helped once I got to the PGA Tour was knowing that you don't have to go out there and shoot a million under the first day, because I knew that if I just was patient, that I could get that 4, 5, 6 under round and get right back into it. And you know, it helped me achieve, you know, higher finishes and just more consistent performance, and kind of got my feet on the ground out there, solidified my card for the next year, and then it was kind of gravy from there on out.
Stewart Cink, a winner for the 8th time and the 3rd time here at the RBC Heritage.
Over the years, the Korn Ferry Tour has evolved. With that evolution came new challenges, new opportunities, and a new way to earn a PGA Tour card. Enter the 3-victory promotion. It's simple in concept, but tough in execution. Win 3 times in a single season, and you can head straight to the PGA Tour. In 1997, the debut year of the 3-victory promotion, Chris Smith became the first to capitalize on the opportunity.
So you can be on the PGA Tour later this year?
Yeah, I think I probably will. I will have exempt status as a result of winning 3 tournaments this year, and it's kind of neat because I was the first one to do it, and they just put it in place this year.
Maybe. Nice job.
Players who are here are the future of the PGA Tour, and they are handling themselves quite well in perpetuating the values and the traditions that got us this far.
While 14 players won twice in a season over the next 3 years, none were able to replicate Smith's feat until the floodgates opened in 2001.
It's happened twice in Omaha, Nebraska. Heath Slocum joins Chris Smith, 3 wins in 1 year. Chad Campbell joins Heath Slocum on the PGA Tour.
That was definitely the ultimate dream when I started playing, and you know, definitely happy to achieve that. I'm just so thankful to be here. I feel like finally I'm ready to go to the show.
While Pat Bates' 3-victory season earned him a return to the PGA Tour for the first time since 1995,
You did make it, Dad, in more ways than one.
it marked the beginning for both Heath Slocum and Chad Campbell as they earned their tour cards for the first time. Each went on to win 4 times at the game's highest level.
Chad Campbell, Pat Bates, and Heath Slocum, 3 men with 3 wins each.
Jason Gore knows the stress of the 3-win promotion all too well.
It adds an element of pressure that you don't need when you're trying to win a golf tournament.
His 2005 season was a roller coaster of redemption, dominance, and history-making moments.
Golf's a funny game, and I'm living proof of that things can change in a heartbeat.
Jason Gore, back from the PGA Tour. He has struggled. He's only made 3 cuts this year.
I think it was just the lack of confidence. I think it's such a big deal when you go out there and you're like, am I going to play well? You can't be wishy-washy in this game.
After turning pro in 1997, Gore spent the better part of 9 years bouncing between both tours.
One of the headliners coming into the week after that great run at the U.S. Open.
That 2005 U.S. Open was the catalyst for a mindset shift.
This is a changed man right here, and it all stems from that U.S. Open performance where he was right at the lead, teeing off on Sunday.
At that point, like, it was one of those things where I knew I could play with the best players in the world.
And there it is. So Jason Gore wins back-to-back weeks.
Ironically, Bill Haas goes, will you hurry up and win so you can get out of here? And I'm like, yeah, no, I got you now.
The friendly motivation led Gore to become the third player to card a 59 on the circuit in his very next start, and in turn, a sudden death playoff for another crack at the PGA Tour.
You're thinking about it because you know, like, this is it.
And sayonara, big man. He is headed to the PGA Tour, 3 straight wins.
With his 6th win, Gore tied the most in a career in Korn Ferry Tour history.
I had so much confidence. The hole looked like the size of a peach basket. I was just going to wake up every morning and find out how many birdies I was going to make that day.
And just 6 weeks after his immediate promotion, Gore finally reached his PGA Tour summit.
The magical ride continues in 2005.
This for the win, his first on the PGA Tour.
That's one of the great things that Korn Ferry Tour brings. They were just such a huge part of my life, and I'm grateful for it. It teaches you how to be not only a professional, but teaches you how to be a winner.
More headliners were seen throughout the entirety of the 2000s who went on to long-term success and prominent careers. Zach Johnson's 2003 Korn Ferry Tour season was one to remember. His 2 wins foreshadowed an immediate impact on the PGA Tour.
Zach Johnson's got it. His first PGA Tour victory.
I hope there's many more to come.
11 more PGA Tour wins came after that, highlighted by a green jacket and a claret jug. And the list of marquee names continued to grow through the decade.
Oh, and Matt Kuchar with an improbable birdie.
We've seen so many guys do so well that have graduated off the Korn Ferry Tour.
Matt Kuchar wins for the 9th time in his PGA Tour career.
I think it's proven to be the best proving ground. Guys that make it there tend to come out here and be successful on the PGA Tour.
More evidence came from Jason Day in 2007 and beyond. A PGA Championship in 2015 highlighted a career of longevity through 2 more decades.
Jason Day is your champion in Texas. Excellent line, perfect putt.
When I made the Korn Ferry Tour, to me, I had made it.
This just his rookie season. And that will move him inside the top 25 right now.
If my career ended there, I could have said I made it. Number 1. That was as happy as I've ever been as a golfer.
In his rookie season on the Korn Ferry Tour, Keegan Bradley secured 5 top 5 finishes, a testament to his determination and consistency.
This guy can tear up any golf course.
That strong foundation propelled him to immediate PGA Tour success.
Golf's got another young star in Keegan Bradley.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say. I'm so happy, and I can't believe this just happened. I really can't. I'm 1-0 on the PGA Tour, which is all that I care about right now.
Bradley then became the first Korn Ferry Tour graduate to win a major championship in his debut season, cementing himself from promising young talent to golf's elite, which we've seen throughout his career to his current days.
Keegan Bradley does it again.
Bradley turned the page on one decade with a competitive spirit that set the stage for the next 10 years on the Korn Ferry Tour. In 2014, that level of competition was at a fever pitch, producing arguably the most successful graduating class that would go on to dominate the PGA Tour with over 40 wins and counting. Led by Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, and Max Homa, the class of 2014 didn't just arrive, they took over.
I think it's one of the strongest, or if not winningest, classes in history.
Probably 10 of us are still playing on tour now.
Everybody's paths to get them there are different, but also their paths past that point are very different.
The wins for Justin Thomas, they just keep on coming.
This new standard for competition did not hold age as a boundary.
Alex Cink, 44 years old, he is finally a winner on the PGA Tour.
As the success also carried over to PGA Tour champions.
Stephen Alker, your season-long champion in taking the Charles Schwab Cup.
Korn Ferry Tour, there's always some guys hot that year. You know, you got 3 or 4 or 5 of them. You can just see walking down the range, the way they played and the scores they were shooting, that they were going to be really good.
That was my 3rd and final time I graduated with a good finish at the first playoff event in Indiana, but you knew there were some stars coming. The likes of Finau, JT, Max Homa.
We were young, and a bunch of us, had come out of college that year and had played really well. Met new friends, but also got to travel around and compete with friends at the same time.
I turned pro in 2007, and I didn't get to the Korn Ferry Tour until 2014. So the journey was long and tough, there's no question.
I feel overwhelmed, really. I don't think it's really synced in. I got a little bit of goosebumps going, just thinking about how far I've come these last couple of years.
These guys, we kind of have a bond because of that class.
I have very fond memories of traveling internationally because we were always together. There's a great sense of kind of camaraderie around that.
Tiger kind of brought in this influx of really, really good athletes. You started to see these kids come up and they were just super athletic and super competitive. That was the time when everything started to change.
While the class of 2014 left its mark, the current world #1 also continues to do so.
Scottie, they chant.
And the Scheffler victory train just keeps on rolling.
And Scottie Scheffler's 2019 season proved he was bound for greatness.
I'm more proud of who you are than your golf.
I always knew Scottie could be successful if he could get to the PGA Tour. If I didn't know if he could get through the Korn Ferry Tour.
What a 2019 it has been for this former Texas Longhorn. The resume, impressive, 3-time individual state champion. He's also won the U.S. Junior.
And what I remember about it is a lot of tournaments where he would shoot even par, 1 under, 2 under in the first round, and by Sunday on the back 9, he was always in the mix. He was tenacious.
And that officially makes Scottie Scheffler the 2-time winner on the Korn Ferry Tour in 2019.
2 wins, 2 seconds, 9 top 7s. He's basically the best player out there, and it shows.
Obviously, he's capable of playing whatever level they put him at to keep going. It's almost surreal. It's like, wow, but it's fun.
In the modern era, the Korn Ferry Tour has continued to deliver on its promise, identifying talent, sharpening skills, and preparing players to thrive on golf's biggest stage. Since the 2020-21 COVID super season, we've seen the emergence of stars like Will Zalatoris, Andrew Novak, Ben Griffin, and Akshay Bhatia. Players who didn't just earn their PGA Tour cards, they entered the spotlight ready to make an immediate impact.
And Taylor Moore is a PGA Tour winner.
Welcome to the Wall of Champions.
Taylor Pendrick is a PGA Tour winner.
And the emotion from Zalatoris.
Since that class celebrated the end of the 46th event 2-year season, they have produced 18 PGA Tour victories.
We're here with the man you've all been waiting for. Great season, he left us. Best looking swing on tour, possibly the longest hitter of the 25.
Cameron Young began the year playing Monday qualifiers and mini tour events for a chance to compete. He took advantage of the opportunities and brought home back-to-back victories to secure his tour card. And validated his game with 2022 PGA Tour Rookie of the Year honors. Will Zalatoris began 2020 on the Korn Ferry Tour, and his early success earned him PGA Tour starts and appearances into 2 majors. But his crowning moment came in 2022 with a win in Memphis.
And he's got it! Zalatoris is a PGA Tour winner.
Matt McCarty embodied the perseverance it takes to play on the Korn Ferry Tour. In his second season, McCarty had PGA Tour status in his grasp, but an untimely quadruple bogey in the 2023 Korn Ferry Tour Championship tarnished those hopes.
It's got to go. Oh, no.
It was tough throughout the offseason, but I think it was very motivating. I think everything happens for a reason.
McCarty reset, and in 2024 captured 3 wins in a 6-event stretch to earn the second 3-victory promotion this decade.
The 26-year-old headed to the PGA Tour.
Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, I mean, no, it hasn't.
Here is your PGA Tour card, buddy.
I knew I was going to get it, but it's different having it, for sure.
And within a few months, McCarty became just the 3rd player to win across both tours in the same year.
Meet the newest PGA Tour winner, Matt McCarty.
To be able to do it this quickly, I don't know how you can expect this, to be honest.
Remember when it was a huge deal to break 60?
Other notable scenes from 2024 saw an unheard of milestone where 3 different players joined the exclusive sub-60 club of the Korn Ferry Tour, with 2 breaking the barrier by landslide margins.
Frankie Sappin shot 58.
We just had a 57, Cristobal de Solar.
I would say I'd rather have this number, but it's pretty cool.
I was going to say, this doesn't look as good as those 2, but
Yeah.
It was 26 years after Notah Begay III shot the first 59 in the circuit's history. And just recently, in the 2025 season, we saw the feat accomplished for the 14th and 15th time, just days apart.
In Wichita, we've seen 2 59s, Miles Creighton and Adrian Dumont d'Hessart.
These moments halfway through the 4th decade of the Korn Ferry Tour are just scratching the surface of the many other memorable moments, and proof that the stage is set for the new wave of players to continue to wow us through the rest of the decade and the many more years to come, with pursuits to be bound for greatness.